Hey guys, Flamingo here, your coach of Forex Attack. Today we have the team reveal that I've been putting off and putting off and putting off for the PDPL. So team actually looks much better. Oh fuck, I gotta close this door again. I'm leaving that in. I'm not changing that. So PDPL. I think this team's a little bit better than my mustache team from GLDL. So let's get into it. I was third pick. So it followed, the snake style draft from 1 down to, I think we got 16 or 14, and then back up to 1. But after the second round, so it went 1 to 16, then 16 back to 1. Then it started back at 16 and it reversed the snake order from there. Apparently it was so the wheel picks aren't as much of an advantageous position to be in. So we had like 500 points to pick from, I think, 7 tiers. And we didn't have to take anything from any particular tier. We just had 500 points, go to town. So I went a little bit more top heavy than probably what I normally do. But that's okay. I think I've got some pretty fun bits and pieces that we can use. So I was fourth pick. I really wanted Ogapon Heart Flame, but fucking Batista, he was third pick. He got it just before me. Because I haven't used Heart Flame much. I've used lots of Waterpon in VGC, and I've used actually quite a bit of Teal Mask Ogapon in VGC. So I wanted to try Heart Flame. I don't think I've even used it at all, which is kind of silly because it's pretty bloody good. But I didn't get it. So I went with Water Pond was already taken as well. It got taken number 2. So I went with Cornerstone. Has a built-in focus sash, has that amazing rock attack, which is very hard to come by, at least an accurate one anyway. Follow me. So I've got some redirection off the bat, but it's also base 120 attack with a custom item. Anyway, an item that gives it a 1.2 boost to its offenses. So that's pretty good. Not much more to say on this. Hits hard, also good support. So next I wanted something a bit bulkier. We've got the grass type, so why not go a water type? So I picked up from tier 2 Suicune. Suicune is bulky as shit. I've used it a little tiny bit, not in draft though. And I just think, access to Scald, which is hard to come by this generation, Icy Wind, Tailwind, and Snarl. So it's like fat as fuck and can sit there for a long period of time. Obviously can't take too many super effective attacks, but then again, what can? And gives me some speed control, as well as giving me 2/3 of my Firewater Grass Core. So after Suicune, my Pokemon are a little bit out of order, so I'm going to be darting up and down. My third pick, so this was on the flip, and I was going for Hitmontop, but Hitmontop got taken. And if it had have fallen to me, if it hadn't have been for the flip, I would have got Hitmontop. But anyway, I got Scrafty, Hitmontop at home, fake out, and fighting moves, dark moves. Has a good support move pool, things like Quick Guard, Taunt, Acid Spray. That's a fun one. See how that goes. Get an Acid Spray off for my Trick Room setter, and let my Trick Room setter special Trick Room setter sweep under Trick Room. That could be fun. But then after that, I've got 1 offensive mon and 2 supportive mons, or 2 bulky sort of supportive mons. So next that was from tier 3 anyway. Scrafted was from tier 3. I stuck in tier 3, and this completes my psychic fighting dark core, I guess you could say. It's Galarian Articuno. So it gives me something else that can hit hard. It's got more special attack than the Ogapon has. Physical attack, has Trick Room, has Tailwind. So I've got 2 Tailwind setters. That means I don't have as much Tailwind pressure across the board. And also, Ogapon Scrafty don't like being intimidated, and competitive Gardecuno can kind of help with that. Also gives me now a ground immunity or resistance, which I didn't have before, so that's real nice. yeah, and so now I'm trying to, get some type calls going. Like I really want a steel type, um, and I also haven't used this Pokemon before. It was also in Tier 3. Gives me another Fake Out user, gives me a steel Pokemon, and it's Tinkaton. Also gives me my Fairy type. Um, yeah, I think with Mold Breaker Fake Out, I think that's a pretty good combo. Being able to hit through things like Inner Focus and uh, Frigaraph's ability, Armor Tail, and that sort of thing. So I think that's pretty cool. Has a lot of good like supportive offensive moves, things like knock off, brick break, foul play, that sort of thing. Feint, while also having like offensive presence in the form of Gigaton Hammer. Now, base 70 or 75 attack, whatever it is, isn't fantastic, but Gigaton Hammer base 160 power sort of makes up for that. So yeah, that was my fifth pick. I needed some more power because like Tinkerton doesn't hit that hard, quite a bit more supportive. Scrafty doesn't hit that hard, a bit more supportive. And Suicune doesn't hit that hard. I only got 2 hard hitters, so I complete my Firewater Grass Core with a hard hitter, but also a Pokemon that lets me use the booster energy item, and that's Iron Moth. Iron Moth is base 140 special attack, and has Acid Spray, so helps sort of helps out my special attackers a lot. Has got quite good coverage. I wouldn't say really good. Like, the fact it doesn't get Sludge Bombs kind of lame. But Acid Spray and Sludge Wave are probably going to be the main poison moves. Then it gets things like Dazzling Gleam and Energy Ball. Yeah, and then all the fire moves. Fiery Dance is a really good one. Kind of gives you that sort of snowballing potential, which could be pretty cool. So after that, I went to actually. I haven't really used any of these guys before, or drafted them, or whatever. So I needed to start filling out my low tiers. I think we're all low tiers from here, five or below. So I got one tier 5, and that was in the form of Rotom Bitch form. Gives me a ghost type and another ground immunity / resistance, especially with the Iron Moth, which has that 4 times resistance. Gives me things like Will-O-Wisp, can't be faked out because of the ghost type, and a much needed, well, at least based on my next few mons, a flying resistance. Like, yeah, I've got the Tinker Tongue, but this gives me something else as well. Gives me speed control. Yeah, used it before and thought it was really good. So my next pick was Munchlax from tier 6. It actually wasn't the lowest tier. It was sort of second from bottom tier. I wanted a bulky ghost resist, bulky less so, and something that can kind of function in Trick Room. And this kind of seemed like the best thing there. I ended up dropping it, so we got rid of this guy. You can go away. Let's center that. We got rid of him just because if you're looking at my team now, I still don't have a whole lot of power. Things over like base 110, 120 sort of damage dealers that can just sort of like burst some damage regardless of what situation they're in. Because like, I was going to try and do some belly drum sort of shit with this guy or some curse sort of stuff. But yeah, I just don't think it was going to be that great. So I opted to pick up a different normal type from tier 6. Still slow enough to work in Trick Room, but obviously not 5 base speed. It's Gumshoes. Gumshoes got adaptability plus base 110 attack. So it's double edges, facades, or any other normal move is going to be fucking chonking. And if I Terra, it now gets adaptability. I lose it from normal, but I get it on whatever the new type is. So I think it still gives me that Trick Room sweeper, but also just something a bit more threatening than a fucking Munchlax. Yeah, looking forward to see what this guy can do. So then I had 20 points left. So that's a tier 7 and a tier 6. And so I went for my tier 7 first because people were starting to take up, not that much was taken yet, but people were starting to take up the tier 7 rage powder users. And I wanted one. Because I've got Ogerpon as my only tier 1, I don't want it to be just clicking follow me all the time. I want it to actually do something else. I want to fucking do damage or something like that. So, I wanted a tier 7 rage powder user just to kind of support my team a bit more. And so I went with probably what I think is probably the best one, and actually gives me a few really good tools to use, and that's Poltergeist. So Poltergeist is the new Ghost and Grass type, and not only can it do Rage Powder, but I can slap an Eviolite on it, make it quite bulky, and has Hospitality. So my team's pretty fucking fat, and so if I can get a little bit of healing for next to no cost, I think that's pretty bloody good. And on top of that, it's giving me a second Trick Room setter. Spoiler alert, video's already out, came out ages ago. Came week 1 to my week 1 of PDPL, and got a kill, set up Trick Room, clicked the Rage Powder, did things. I actually think this is a really good tier 7 mod. I would probably argue with Dan, this probably needs to go to tier 6 next season. But let's see how the season pans out first before I start making hasty calls like that. I think this is a great tier 7 mod, and probably the best Rage Powder there. Had other things like Scatterbug and shit like that. I think Scatterbug was my next pick, purely because of Frengard. That's a busted ability. So I've got 9 Pokemon. We need to have 10 to 12 Pokemon. I've got 15 points left. I go to tier 6. What am I looking for? I felt a ground type would have been pretty good. Physical special, don't really care. I just wanted a ground type. Saw this guy and thought, you know what? I've used you with Rotom before, and you're quite annoying. And so I picked up, as my fastest Pokemon, picked up Dugtrio. Look at those sexy arms. Yeah, ability to trap shit in is really good. I actually brought this on my week 2 team, which the video should be posted by the time this goes up. And yeah, I am really stoked to have this guy back. Gives me speed control with things like Bulldoze. I love running mix sets on this guy. It's only got like base 50 attack, special attack or something like that. But like, you know, it gets earth power and shit like that. And I actually ran it once with not Sand Rush. What's the other ability that boosts the damage of your ground, rock, and steel type moves in Sandstorm, whatever that ability's called. I ran that once because it let me just fucking dunk on a Duraludon back in Sword and Shield if I got sand up, which I think my opponent ended up setting sand. So yeah, this is my team. What do we got? 10 Mons. Already made one trade. I think the Gumshoes trade is for the better, just to give me that little bit more nuke power. Instead of just having like a whole lot of sort of passive shit. But yeah, that's my team. Let's see how I go. Already played 2 games and we're 1-1. Lost to Wakeman week 1 and beat my man Pedons week 2. So yeah, that's it guys. Log it off. See you all next time.